Welcome back, guys. So, yeah, some adjustment I would like to make. Adjustment I like to make on this. Like, I need to get some part of the skin to be more darker. I seem to have lost that darker tone on top of this. I need to make this a bit more darker. So, let me just look for that dark tone and kind of make it a bit more obvious. Oh, that's the dark spot. So some of this needs to be quite dark. Just taking a lot of time to load up. Okay. Okay, this is a darker tone, so I think I'll just duplicate this a few times because I can't just keep painting on top of that again. So I'll just duplicate this. Maybe one more time. Then duplicate this again. Then give this a moment to, okay. Maybe for this particular one, I can even push it towards the dark side. Make it more darker than it is right now. Okay. Then let's see what we have when we come in here. Okay. feels slightly overboard, so I'm just going to tune this down. It's somewhere around here. I think I'm going for something more or less like so. Alright, I think this should work. Let me try this on a different light setup. Let's use a more neutral light. Let's do this test Studio O2 for this. Let's try this one. Okay. I think we can definitely work with this. Just looking at this now for the face, maybe I don't want so much for the face. Probably erase some of that we have for the face. Shouldn't be too intense for the face. Alright, see, something like this should be fine. Probably we need to implement more. I hit X on the keyboard to kind of review. Probably will paint more of this around here. Spin this for the back also. Okay, I think this should work just fine. Okay. We'll do a quick save for this. I think now we can focus a bit more on the lips and kind of get the lips to look right, and then we should be done with this. Okay, so let's work on the lips. It's quite disappointing that we could not get the easy geometry details out of ZBrush, and now that's painted on here. It's quite disappointing, very disappointing. My regrets for using easy geometry, believing that I'm going to get as much detail as I possibly can to kind of use this for the texturing. Unfortunately, I could not get this to work. I could not get the big to, I cannot big out the texture map for the easy geometry, the normal map and the displacement map properly. Okay, let's just carry on. So let's just paint something for the lips now. So let me take down the brush size. So I'm just going to duplicate this. Let me just name this to lips. Okay. Then I'll just take this all the way to, drag this all the way up. You should add a white max. Then pick out the color tone for this. So somewhere around here, maybe push this towards this region a bit more like so. Now the black marks, and paint that on the entire lips as a base. Okay, just name this to base. Now duplicate this, fill the black marks, then pick the nearest color tone to it, somewhere around here. Just name this dark tone. Okay, take down the opacity and the flow. So let's have this around the edges. Okay, should even be using this depth 3 instead. Invert the marks. The center part should be a bit brighter, at least all the way around here should be a bit brighter like so. Something more or less like so should be fine. Probably break this up a bit more and introduce some of them back in a bit more like so. Let me undo that. Take down the brush size. Let's have something around the edges like so. So probably we need to have like a kind of brighter tone to kind of highlight the edges of the lip. So I'll just duplicate this at the black marks. Then for this I will just pick, let me just pick this tone around here. Then for this I need to be more precise with this, so more probably be using the depth brush for this. So I want to kind of highlight just where the lip should be, the corners of the lip. Let me just take this up. Maybe we'll take down the brush size. Maybe not all the way to the end. Can I stop around here? Just to highlight the lips. So feels way too bright now, so let's just take this, put this like around here, should be fine. Should not be very obvious, but you still feel like it's still there. I think this should be just fine. Okay, so now let's introduce the eyes. Let's kind of fix up the eyes in here now. So I think for the inner eyes, I believe we have a texture. So I imported the texture in here. See if we have the eye texture in here. Okay, you don't seem to have the eye texture in here, so I'm just going to import that in. So I believe should be in here, like brown eyes. Here it is. Probably just need only one of these. So I'll just drop this in here. Texture, import. So now I can just drop and drag this in here. Okay, and that should automatically fit in. Maybe you might even need to darken it a bit. Yes, we definitely need to darken it a bit more. So I'll create a layer underneath this. I'll just pick somewhere around here should be fine. So I think this is the tone. I'll just put this on top of this. Now use a black mask. So I will just paint this. Probably just paint this around this. I don't want it to be affecting this part though. and somewhere around here should be fine. I'll do a duplicate of this, use a black mask. Now use more of a reddish tone to this. Now just paint on the edges like so. Kind of make them mix a bit with the with the previous one we had in there. Okay, then I'll start by adding a filter, add a blur filter to this. Blur this out even more. Also add a blur filter to this. Then start taking this down. Shouldn't be tightly obvious that it's there. Maybe still in this place I'll use the default brush. But don't use a very hard brush though. Need something soft on the edges. So this hardness, I'll just take this hardness down. Take out the blur for now. And just paint something smooth around the edges. To more or less eliminate that bright white spots around the edge. Maybe even isolate this so we can be more precise with it. Okay. Alright. I think this should be more or less fine. Then we can introduce back the blur. I'm just looking at this now. I think I might even need to reduce the size of the iris a bit more. Before doing that, let's not add some. So I'll duplicate this layer again. Add the black marks. So I want to use like the crack brush for this. Kind of simulate some kind of vein around it. I think this one should be just fine. Let's kind of vary this out. I think and I would even add some kind of measure of height information to it. It should even be below this. It should even be below this layer. Let me just name this to cracks. Okay. Something like this should be good enough. Maybe increase this. It is slightly more obvious to see. Okay. just do a quick save.